Hey everyone, this is Ina, and I wanted to share with you a paper I wrote for a class I took on Elizabethan England, and it's called England's Capitalist Experiment, and it deals with English colonization in Ireland during the reign or towards the end of Queen Elizabeth's reign. And of all the papers I tend to write, and of all the periods I'm interested in, I tend not to really be interested in too much in history before July 14th, 1789. And the joke in my department was that's when history began. Small joke, I know. But anyway, this deals with the 16th and 17th centuries largely. And originally this paper was a textual analysis of a work called The View of the State of Ireland by Edmund Spenser, who was an Elizabethan landowner and poet. And he was arguing how the English could gain control of Ireland while demonizing the Irish as unsuitable to rule their own country. His book could easily have been retitled as The Final Solution to the Irish Question, and you should get the reference to that. The original draft, and that's not the one that you'll find below, is largely a textual analysis of Spenser's work. And I'll go into that momentarily. But the one that you do see is much more Marxist, because I did not want to do a simple textual analysis. And I did have to rewrite it for when I finally graduated. The larger rewrite ties Spenser's work to socioeconomic changes that were occurring in England. Let me explain. During the Tudor period, there were changes in the English land system. At this time, feudal means of economic coercion were being replaced with a competitive system based on profit. I believe that this change in the English land system brought about a capitalist rationality in England that would later spread to Ireland, or in a sense, Edmund Spenser, an English landowner who's benefiting from this new capitalist rationality, is advocating that it be transferred to Ireland as part of a new capitalist colonization, because we all know that the English have been oppressing the Irish for centuries before capitalism. But with the development of capitalism and the profit rationality, Spenser's arguing that it should be that a new type of colonization that is more productive should be productive in that sense should be transferred to Ireland. And what Spenser's advocating is, because the Irish are not engaged in this capitalist type of land system, because they're not following this type of rationality, that they're unproductive, that they're backward. And he's advocating their subjugation and the replacement by productive English settlers, those who know how to follow this type of capitalist rationality and therefore more advanced. And he wants to violently replace the Irish landholding system with one based on capitalist logic. And of course, those Irish lords who accept English rule, he's willing to tie them to English rule, and are furthermore to bind them to the larger capitalist market and therefore to England. But Edmund Spenser is also arguing, and this deals a lot with the work of Edward Said, and I've incorporated him in the paper, as you'll see, is he represents the Irish as savage, and they brought woes to the colonizer, because of course the colonizer actually did deserve it. And he demonizes the Irish. He thinks of them as backward, as foolish, as barbarian, and it helps to further justify English rule. And he of course wants colonial settlement and outright slaughter. And you see a lot of how Edmund Spenser's representation of the Irish and his advocacy of English colonization is tied to the larger forces of economic and social development of capitalism in England. And Irish history has actually been something I came into largely in college. I am actually not Irish, but I am a great advocate of a future 32-county Irish Socialist Republic. And this paper, I hope you find enjoyable. It may be a little outside of what I discuss normally on the channel, but hopefully you'll find it of some interest. So this is Ina. Until next time.